Greetings, everyone. Welcome to today's topic. My name is Lungelo Tyamko, and I'm a business studies teacher. Today, we're going to be covering human resources as a business function. If you remember previously, we did cover that businesses have different functions, and each function is responsible for their own activities. For example, we have marketing, we have finance, we have PR, and more. Marketing is solely responsible for all the activities relating to the customer. So marketing is responsible for ensuring that we as a business, we know what is it that our customer is looking for. What are their needs, what are their wants, and what are their preferences. Marketing is also responsible to ensure that the customers knows what we have on offer. So our promotions, what do we have to offer them? How can they get in touch with us? So all of those responsibilities are found in the marketing function. We have the finance function, which is solely responsible for the finances of the business. Because if finance is not managing our money correctly, then we don't have money to market, we don't have money to buy ingredients or to buy resources for anything that we're going to be needing in order for us to offer our services. So everyone has their own separate function. Today we're going to be covering human resources as a business function. Human resources function is solely responsible for the humans, which is the people that are working for the company. Those are the employees. Human resources is responsible for finding people, giving them a job, training them, developing them, and also they are responsible for disciplining them. So if you have disciplinary hearings or if you are to get fired, all of those processes that have to deal with people are dealt with by human resources. Today, I'm going to be covering recruitment and selection as the roles and responsibilities of human resources. So that I can do this effectively and that we can all follow on the same scenario, we've devised one based on Milanati Senior Secondary School. So Milanati Senior Secondary School offers business studies from grade 10 to grade 12. They are currently sitting with 40 students and two teachers that are teaching the 40 students. So what is happening now is the business or the school itself is busy with applications for the year to follow, which is 2023. Based on the received applications and registrations, it is clear that the number is already surpassing 70. So we can have 70 students, which is about 30 plus more than what we currently have. And the two teachers are complaining that they are not able to cater for 30 more students on their own. So the business understands that we need an extra teacher. So what actually happened here is that the demand for the service that is offered for the school by the school has increased. So HR has to come on board now and look for an extra person to cater for that demand. So this is how the recruitment process works. Right. So what is recruitment? Recruitment is the process that is followed by businesses to identify position or vacancies in the business and to find suitable people to fill those positions. So this is exactly what is happening here. The business has identified that there is a position available and we need a third business teacher. So that is a position that is available. So we need to now start as a business or as HR looking for this person. Where do we find this person? Or where do we start looking for this person? Of course, we start in the company. We do have other qualified teachers that are working for the school. So we first have to, before we can go and advertise outside, we need to start with them. We need to check with them, is there anyone that is interested in this position? Because there could be a scenario where there's another teacher that is maybe teaching tourism, is teaching math, or is teaching any other subject that wants to teach business studies. They've been wanting to teach business studies, but they had no opportunity. All right, so you have as a business start internally to make sure that you give everyone inside a proper chance to apply. And if not, then you can go outside. So how do the people know that we are looking for someone that are working inside? We can tell them, which is word of mouth. We can send them internal emails. We can print the position and we can paste it on the notice board, and we can get other employees referring other employees. So that is how we let them know. Those are called the methods of recruitment for internal. And then there's advantages and disadvantages of choosing this method of recruiting from inside. The advantage is that it is cheap and it is very easy to fill a position when you are taking from inside. By cheap, I mean you pay nothing. You must remember when you are advertising outside, if you're going to be using the newspaper, then you must pay the newspaper. If you're going to be using recruitment agencies, then you must pay the recruitment agents. So it is cheaper and easy to take from inside. And also, employees that are within the business, they already know the business, they already know the culture of the business, they already know how things work in the business. The only place where they will need training here and there is on the actual job. But in terms of the overall business culture and way of the business, they already have all of those things in check. So that is also an advantage. The disadvantage is that when employees are with the business for a longer time together, we all start to think the same and we all follow the same processes over and over. The disadvantage there is that someone that comes from outside could have come or could come with different ideas, fresh ideas. They could come with new processes that they are coming with from where they are currently are. And those processes could give us an edge or could help the school improve. So we are blocking out new talent from taking inside. And also another disadvantage is that if there's only 20 teachers at the school, we are limited to only choosing from the 20 applications. So we are very limited. Whereas if you choose from outside, you have a larger pool, then you can make sure that you get the best talent. And then another disadvantage is favoritism. People that are working together, there's people that are closer than other people, so favoritism can also take place there. And when that happens, other staff members will remain unhappy. So those are the advantages and disadvantages of hiring from inside. Then if you are not finding anyone inside, then businesses have an opportunity to go and hire outside. And how do they do that? Newspapers, as mentioned. They can also use universities and colleges. And how do they do that? They do that by calling or sending communication to these places that, hi, we as a school are looking for a teacher. Could you please recommend or could you please share with your top graduates? Then we can get applications to come in that way. Social media, which is the quickest. Social media, Instagram, Facebook. We've seen a lot of those on Facebook where there's vacancy, people are sharing the vacancy. So those are the methods that we can get the information out there that we are looking for a new teacher. And then there's also advantages and disadvantages of taking people from outside. An advantage is new talent and new ideas. So this person is already working at a different school. That different school already have their processes, so they can come with those new ideas and new processes that we can follow. And also, once we start looking from outside, then we are not only limited to the 20 staff members that we have. So we have a more pool, a larger pool with more options, so we can get the top talent. So that is an advantage. Disadvantage is people can be dishonest or people can oversell themselves. So the CV looks good, everything looks on point. They come to the interview, they speak with you, they say all the right things, you hire them, and when they start working, there's nothing correlating. This person played with you. So these things do happen. So people can be dishonest or they can be not who they present themselves as to be. And also, having a large pool can also be a disadvantage if the pool is too large because we have only one position open for the school. And then you put this on the Facebook page and then you get 1,000 applications. Now you have to sort through 1,000 applications. Now this is actually delaying the whole recruitment process. And then another disadvantage is that new employees may take longer to adjust to the new working environment. How does that happen? Just think about it. You are a teacher and you are working for a private school. The private school has computers in the class, they have projector in the class, you have speakers, and you are only teaching 10 learners in the classroom. and then you get a new position to go and teach at a different school, which is a public school that has 40 learners in a class. No computer, no projector, no speakers. You have to use a board. So already the two environments are totally different. So you as a teacher have to adjust to learn the new way of teaching. So some teachers take longer and they're not being productive during that time. So that is the disadvantage of looking from outside. Then there is something that you call the recruitment procedure, meaning how does this actually work? So where does it start? The process of recruiting will start with a job analysis. So we have identified that we are looking for a person and we know that we need a new teacher. But now we must analyze that role. So by analyzing it, we need to understand what is this teacher going to be teaching. So this teacher is going to be teaching business studies. All right, which grade is this teacher going to be teaching? Is it going to be grade 10, 11, and 12, or is this teacher only going to be doing grade 10 and 11? So you need to find out what are the tasks and responsibilities of this person. All right, so you first identify that, and then you identify what qualities, what skills, what qualifications must this person have in order to do this type of role. So those two things is very important because you're doing the job analysis now. You want to identify their tasks and responsibilities, and you want to understand what qualities must this person have. Then when you have that information, then that is your job analysis. You've done it. Then you take your job analysis and then you break it down again into two. So you take the one part, which is your task and your responsibilities directly linked to the job, and you put it aside, and that is called a job description. So a job description has to do with duties, with tasks, with responsibilities that are linked to the job. So it is what the person is going to be doing. That is your job description. And then you take the other part, which is the job specification, which is your skills, which is your personal qualities, which is your qualifications. So what do you want this person to know? If this person is going to be working with computers, you need this person to be skilled, to be computer literate. You need this person to have experience in working with grade 10s, 11s, and 12s in metric. You see, so you need, maybe you're going to say then this person must have 2 years teaching experience. Then you also need this person to have a teaching qualification. So these are all the things that you must identify before you advertise. Because when you are advertising both internally and or externally, this information needs to be there. So an advert can go out and be Milanati Senior Secondary School is looking for a business studies teacher to teach grade 10, 11, and 12. All right, and then your job description, it is the teaching of grade 10, 11, and 12, and then the working hours will be from 8 to 2, and this person will work 5 days a week, and this person might work Saturdays if necessary. So those are all the duties and responsibilities under the job description. Then you're going to go to job specification, and the job specification is going to say the suitable candidate is going to have 2 years teaching experience, must have a teaching qualification, must be computer literate, and all the qualities that you want, then you put under the job specification. All right, and then when that is done, then you send out the advertisement. Now the advert is out, people have applied, you've received applications. Then you start with your selection. So you've done your recruitment. Now you're doing your selection. When you get your CVs, let's say you've received 30 CVs, you don't just choose. There must be a criteria that you will follow in order to make your decision so that you are as fair as possible. So we need to first now set a criteria for selection. So your criteria is basically you've already identified the roles that this person is going to be doing. You've already identified the what qualities you want this person to have. So you're going to look at that. It's going to guide you. So we know, okay, this is the criteria. This person on their CV must show that they have 2 years teaching experience. They must have a teaching qualification. They must be computer literate. We've already identified those things. And then for the selection criteria, you can also put other detail there that candidates must follow the application rules and submit all documents certified, such as your ID, your driver's license, your metric, and your teaching qualification. Failure to do so will result in your application being not considered. So now you have all your 30 CVs. You check CV number one. They have the teaching qualification. You tick that. You check they have the relevant experience 2 years. You check that they can work with computers. And then, but when you are checking their documents, all their documents that they've submitted are not certified. So that person does not meet that criteria that you've set. So you put that person aside. So that means that person is not shortlisted. Shortlisting is basically people that are selected to go to the next stage, which is interviews based on the selection criteria that was placed. So you're going to follow that process. And then let's say you are left now with only 5 CVs that actually the top 5 that meet your standards or your criteria. Then that 5 CVs are the ones that you are going to call and interview. So what you do then is you call them, you invite them to an interview. They come with an interview, you interview all 5 of them, and you are only happy with 2. Then that 2, you look on the CV and you call their references. You call their references to find out what kind of person are they, how do they work with other people, and how do they work under pressure. So you get all of that information to help you make the final decision. Reference check, some do it before they call the people to come for interviews, and others do them after the interviews. I always recommend doing them after the interviews, because if you do them before you interview them, then you're gonna have a lot of people to be calling. But if you do it after the interviews, when you have your last 3 candidates or your last 2 candidates, then you don't have to call everyone, right? And then once you've done your references and you're happy, then you select the person that you want to hire, and you send them an offer letter. An offer letter is going to be communication telling them that they've got the job, congratulating them, this is the day that they are supposed to start, and also this is the money that they're going to be earning. So offer letter will have all of that information. The other person must sign it and send it back to you. And then once you are done as HR or as a business, you must go back to the other 3 candidates or 4 candidates that you did interview, and you must send them information informing them that they have been unsuccessful this time. As a business, it is unethical to leave people hanging. So you must always get back to people so that when there's a position in your company again, they are encouraged to apply. And then interviews. Businesses interview people so that they can meet them in person. As a business, it is very risky to hire someone that you've never seen before, because you need to meet this person. You need to see how this person speaks. You need to see how this person handles themselves. And also you want more information from this person. So that is why you want this person to come through, because you must remember a CV is only 2 or 3 pages. So you want more information. You want to ask about the gaps in the CV. You want to ask what happened here, why did you stop working here? And then you want all of that information. And also as a business, you want to give this person more information about the business, so that this person knows what they're getting themselves into. So you want to tell them about the position, because also when you're sending out an advert, you can't put everything there, because an advert can only be so long. So you need to give them extra information, so that if you do hire them, they have all the information, so that they do not start and resign in less than a month to 2 months or so. So that is why interviews are important. So there's 2 parties in an interview. There is the interviewer, which is the company, which is HR, which is the business, and there's the interviewee, which is the candidate. All right. Both these people have rights and responsibilities. It is the responsibility of the interviewer to make sure that when they're calling you out for an interview, that they are ready for you, that they have a venue for you. All right. So it is very unprofessional for someone to come to a place and no one knows where they should be seated. And also, it is the responsibility of the interviewer to make sure that the whole panel is available and knows where they should be. Panel then refers to, the panel is everyone that is involved in the interview. So for this particular scenario, we need the interviewee is going to be the business teacher that has just applied. Then the panel could be the principal. it could be the current teacher, it could be any other teacher. So everyone that is involved in that interview must know where they must be and they must be available. And also, if there's going to be 5 interviews for the day for the same position, if the maximum time set was 30 minutes for the first interviewee, then the standard must be the same for everyone, 30 minutes maximum. Those are the responsibilities of the interviewer. And then there are responsibilities for the interviewee, which is the candidate. It is their responsibility to make sure that they are there on time at the right place. There is nothing more damaging than arriving into your interview late, or being confused, being at the wrong place, because that shows you that your planning it's not up to where it's supposed to be. And also dress code is very critical. You must dress appropriately. Sometimes what happens is you go to this place and you see, no, everyone is chilled here, people are wearing jeans, people are wearing shorts, so it's a chilled environment. So when I come, I'm also going to be wearing jeans and shorts. No, it does not work that way. You must respect the interview process. You need to wear formal. Formal is key. You're going to get your chance to wear your jeans and shorts later on. And then also you have your right to listen. You have a responsibility to listen and ask for clarification if you do not understand. You can ask as many times for them to clarify, and you can also ask them to rephrase. And it is always wise to be honest when you do not know the answer. Do not make things up. Tell them that when you do not know the answer, and do assure them that you're going to make research and get back to them as soon as possible. If there are any questions, I will please employ everyone to please write them on the comments, and I will ensure that I get back to everyone. Thank you once again. My name is Lungelo Tyamko. This was Human Resources as a Business Function. I will upload part 2 as soon as I am ready with it. Thank you.